Hi. Welcome back to the Skillupbox. In this video, I'm going to show you how to change the color of a background in Photoshop. This is going to be a fast and easy technique that anyone should be able to follow along, even if you're a beginner. Okay, let's get started. We're going to work with this image of this model. She is, of course, in a white background, and what we're going to do is change the background color to anything that we want. For this tutorial, so that you can follow along, your image will need a white background. The first step is to make a selection out of our model so we can separate her from the background, and we can use the quick selection tool for that. In older versions of Photoshop, you can just click and drag and make a selection out of our model. But in Photoshop CC 2021, you actually have the Select Subject button, which is a button that uses artificial intelligence, known as Adobe Sensei, to analyze an image and select the subject of the image. So when you click on this button, Photoshop will ask you if you want to discard any active selections. I do want to discard it, so I'm going to press OK. Then it will analyze the image and make a selection, and in this case, it made a really good selection. There's only a couple of areas that we need to fix. If you zoom in, you can see that I missed the hair and maybe the corner of her hand that enters a quick mask mode, and you can use the brush tool. So anything that is in red will be hidden. And you don't want to spend too much time fine-tuning these areas just yet. See how the result looks after we apply the color, and if it looks good, then don't worry about it. If you need to refine it, then come back and refine it. I always tell people not to refine their selections until they're sure that they're going to keep to them or even need them. Sometimes you don't need to refine the selections because in the composite those little imperfections are not noticeable. Other times, you may not even need the selection at all. So if you spend a lot of time fine-tuning, it's a waste of time. So fine-tune at the end. I'm going to double-click on the hand tool to fit the image to screen, and you'll notice that we have a really good selection around our model, and that's what we need. The next step is to create the fill layer that we're going to use to make the background a different color, and we're going to use a solid color adjustment layer. So I'm going to select it from the adjustment layer menu, and I can select the color. I'll just select red for now and press OK. The problem now is that we actually have the color inside the model, not outside. So we can simply solve that by clicking on the layer mask icon and clicking on the invert button in the properties panel. So once I click on invert, those colors invert, and now the red is outside and the model is in front. The problem that we have now is that the shadow is not showing, and I would like for my shadow to show. That way, this effect looks more realistic. The easiest way of blending the images so that the shadow shows up is by using a blending mode. At this point you can just double-click on the solid color thumbnail so that you can click and drag and select a different color. For example, maybe we'll go for a blue-green color like this one, and you can change the intensity of the color by clicking and dragging within the window, and you can fine-tune it any way that you like, and you can press OK when you're done. You can, of course, use the zoom tool, zoom in and make sure that everything is looking good, and I think that for the most part everything looks really good, and I don't think I need to fine-tune anything else. So I'm going to zoom back out. And just like that, you've changed the color of a background. I would like to ask you for two quick favors. If you enjoy this tutorial and you think that it will help you in your creative projects, then go ahead and click on that like button now and let me know in the comments below how you plan on using this technique. I hope that you enjoy this tutorial. Then don't forget to click on that subscribe and notification buttons. And I will see you at the next tutorial.